begin with breaking news.
The aftermath of that massive The aftermath of that massive blast. 18 hours later, explosions ripped through a fireworks facility in Yolo County, turning it into debris. And now we get our first look since last night's blast and what's left. It's not much. It is decimated, pretty much flattened. Here's a live look from LiveCopter 3 right now, a view you'll only see here on KCRA 3. CAL FIRE just told us 7 people are unaccounted for after that fire and those explosions. You can see it is still smoldering right now. Dark black smoke coming out of that barely standing structure, or what's left of it. The work is just beginning right now to piece this all together and figure out just how it all happened. It looked like a movie, but it was real, and investigators have a long road ahead of them. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Lisa Gonzalez. We still have a lot of unanswered questions right now. We don't know what set off this fire. We don't know the full extent of all the damage, but we do know people are still being kept away from that blast zone, and now we know people are unaccounted for. Some evacuation orders are still in effect right now. Here's a look at the area that you see on this map. The area shaded in red. This is south of Highway 16, west of County Road 89, and north of County Road 25. We're also starting to get a better idea of the impact that this fire and explosion will have on the upcoming 4th of July fireworks shows that were planned around Northern California. A joint press release from the Yuba-Sutter region says devastating pyrotechnics is the company behind the fireworks. Yuba-Sutter said the fireworks for their 4th of July event were destroyed in this explosion that you see here. In a statement, organizers say at this time we cannot confirm whether the fireworks portion of the event will move forward, but we are working diligently on a plan B that would still allow the community to come together in a safe and meaningful way. We have live team coverage for you this noon hour on the aftermath from the air and from the ground. KCRA 3's Michelle Bandor is on the ground in Esparto, but we want to start in the sky with KCRA 3's Leanne Denyer in LiveCopter 3. What a view today, Leanne, 18 hours later. It just is flattened.
Yeah, Lisa, after watching this from my home with so many of our viewers at 6 and 7 o'clock last night, it really is quite startling to see this damage, to see all of this from the air. And even just a moment ago, was able to see some active flames still in one of those appearing to be storage containers, and of course that smoldering that I believe that you can see now on your screens. But really, it's shocking to look at. This explosion just decimated, like you mentioned, this entire property. And I think the other thing that I find just so noteworthy is, while yes, this is an agricultural, more rural part of our community, there are still homes that are relatively close by that you can see if you just take a look in either direction from this blast site. There are homes here, and of course our thoughts are just with everybody who is evacuated, and of course with those families who have loved ones unaccounted for at this point. Like you mentioned, 7 people at this point unaccounted for. And you can see now from a wider view this agricultural area that I was just talking about, but the blast site, just, you can't miss it. As you can see, there is just this gray smoke that is still coming from the site at this point. Like you mentioned, there is still an evacuation in place because this area is just too dangerous. And just looking at it, of course it's too dangerous for folks to be in there and to begin really the nitty-gritty of this investigation, because this is still so active. We can see that smoke is coming just from the pool there at just the bottom of a mangled, what used to be a structure. Again, it really is quite impressive in the worst way to look at, as we're able to see this intense damage that this explosion did cause. We were able to see about 2 miles away one of those spot fires that we watched burn yesterday, and then of course surrounding the area you can see that black where it is just charred from the fire that did burn. We can still see a couple of those what appear to be storage containers still intact, as we saw others explode and are not intact. And from where I'm looking, I believe we can still see some active fire burning. If you look right in the middle of your screen, just behind that black smoke, behind to the side of the container, we can still see some fire is still burning. We did hear from officials a short time ago, Esparto Fire and the State Fire Marshal, able to give us some new information today in the hours after. They told us that they're actually monitoring this area remotely just because of how hazardous the conditions are. And looking at these pictures, of course they are hazardous. It is just absolutely horrible to look at, and we're able to just get a view from the sky as they are still asking people to keep a distance away from this site. Another thing that I thought was noteworthy was in this release that just came out from officials, they called this a rare incident, and there's a lot that they need to determine. Were license requirements being met at the state and the federal level? But again, at this point, it's just not safe for them to get in there and to start answering those questions. So we're so grateful that we have this resource, that we can bring you a safe look from the sky as to what so many of you all witnessed yesterday on your screens. That was unlike anything I can ever recall seeing in a newscast, watching those explosions and those colorful fireworks shooting up into the air. And this is what's left, this smoldering remnants of what was this fireworks storage facility. Again, it really is quite the sight to see. I'm trying to get a better look here from the vantage point as to see if there's anything else that we can specifically point out, but it really all just looks like rubble, a couple of burned vehicles, but it's hard to make out what's what just because of the extent of the damage. Lisa, did you try to ask me something just there?
No, I was just going to say, you know, this week, Leanne, we have been talking with fireworks experts about safety and that sort of thing, and something that stood out to me, Leanne, earlier this week was, you know, the fact that even pieces of fireworks, even after they've been detonated, can still act as tiny pieces of dynamite and can still be extremely dangerous even after they exploded. So just, you know, putting an exclamation point on the fact that this is just another reason why everyone needs to stay so far away, because it is still so extremely dangerous. Even though it looks like everything that could possibly explode has exploded, that's not necessarily the case. And as you pointed out so clearly, we did see we can see some little flamage, some flames kind of behind that one container, and a lot of things are still smoldering, Leanne. But you know, just to put an exclamation point on the point that it could still be very dangerous right now.
Absolutely, and the expert that we had give us just such wonderful information about this situation that there's not precedent for, of course, in my career. However, he did say that with those fireworks that could have been shot out to other areas, they do need that ignition, that heat. But what we're seeing is there is still fire on the scene. So that is noteworthy to me. You know, it's not just smoke and smoldering. We can see active fire from this point. So again, just really doubling down on this point that it's just too hazardous for these crews, for investigators to begin this next phase of their investigation. Of course, I am no fireworks expert, firefighter, but just looking at it, I think it's just common sense that nobody should be in this site. And the fact that we do have 7 people unaccounted for really just, it gives me goosebumps, and my heart is just with these families who are anxiously waiting for more information, and of course the community around here that must have just literally and figuratively been so shaken by this experience. We watched in Carolina's reports as people were fleeing the area as these evacuation orders were put into place. And again, just looking at it now, hours later, it really just underscores just how serious and how rare of an incident this really was.
Well, and I think as you were mentioning, you know, it's a little surprising also how close some of the other homes are, especially when you take into consideration that people heard and saw these blasts from miles and miles away. Even in LiveCopter, pilot Dan Oppenheim was saying, you know, it's not often that he can hear explosions like that and you know, see fire like that, but they definitely felt it in LiveCopter last night.
Yeah, absolutely, and just the size and scope of this entire situation really is hard to quantify, Lisa.
Yeah, it really is, and you've got to keep in mind we're flying, you know, thousands of feet in the air. I think during the explosion yesterday we were at the 4,000-foot elevation. So just to give you an idea, Leanne, thank you so much. We also want to give you perspective of how the situation developed on the left. That was about 6:30 last night when LiveCopter first arrived over the scene. We could see the debris flying everywhere, fireworks shooting all over the place, huge cloud of smoke, and you can see all the sparks flying there, even in the orchards. 8 o'clock, 8:30 last night, that's in the middle. We could see the glow of the flames with some fireworks still going off and all that burned out debris and rubble. And then on the right, and that is 18 hours later after it all started, and what's left of the property's just been obliterated and pretty much flattened. From the sky now, we want to go back down to the ground where we continue our team coverage with KCRA 3's Michelle Bandor live for us in Esparto. And what's the scene there where you are? I know you're at a very safe distance.
Yes, that's right, Lisa. We're actually on County Road 86A, which is just directly south of Highway 16 in Esparto. And yeah, we're being kept more than a mile away. But I want to tell you that the mood drastically changed here right before we went on air because some of the families of the missing people arrived here on the scene. And I was just able to speak with the girlfriend of one of the men that she says was working in the plant. She actually said it was his first day yesterday. He's 18 years old. And she's very concerned. She said the last time she spoke to him was about 5 o'clock yesterday. He was supposed to be off work at 2 o'clock. And so she's just trying to figure out, what happened. She is holding on to hope. She's hoping that she's just going to see him and his two brothers walking down the road from that facility. And so let's just kind of show you where we are. Like I said, we're about a mile away from the scene. They want to keep us back because CAL FIRE is calling this a rare incident as well as a crime scene. At times we have seen a little bit of black smoke coming from the area there, but that's been off and on. Now, CAL FIRE tells me they are keeping us away because this is a crime scene. They won't know when or if we can actually get closer to see the damage from the ground. CAL FIRE says they're hoping to give us a press conference later this afternoon to answer some of those questions. We're wanting to know about injuries or possibly even deaths from that blast, and actually what caused this fire and how long this investigation is going to take. We do know that the state fire marshal's office is leading the investigation. Esparto Fire District was also first on the scene here to start the firefighting, but as we know, they could not do that as it was too dangerous with all the fireworks and the explosives inside that warehouse. They were able to fight some of those spot fires with the flames spreading around the area at the time last night. Now, CAL FIRE's arson and bomb unit is also here, and they believe this location is owned by an active pyrotechnic license holder. This is what they released before we went on the air. As part of the investigation, CAL FIRE says it'll be working to determine that everything happening at the facility was within the license requirements, that this type of incident is very rare, and facilities like this are required to not only follow their stringent California pyrotechnic requirements, but also federal explosive storage requirements. So not only trying to get control of what is happening with the flames and the fire, they also have this investigation to see if the company was, working and operating under the license and all of the standards and all of those protocols that they have to go to keep this type of facility and store the fireworks as well as the explosives. And again, there are so many questions, especially for the families that are here. They're standing over under the shades of the tree right now, but we did speak to them, speak to the girlfriend, and Lisa, we're hoping to bring that to you later on in the newscast. It is just heartbreaking as she is just holding on to hope that she's going to see her boyfriend later today. She says that officials told her they won't know anything until Saturday, and today's Wednesday, and she's just hoping to get some type of confirmation or something sooner, watching these families out here in tears and so anxious and worried about their loved ones working in that warehouse yesterday when this happened. Lisa?
Oh, that is truly heartbreaking. Yeah, I can't imagine. I feel for those families who are all sitting out there and they can't even get close for their own safety, and just so many reasons why. All right, Michelle, thank you so much. We're going to check back in with you within the hour, and hopefully we will get to hear more about that. This morning we spoke with a fireworks accident expert. He talked about how long this investigation into a cause could take.
My experience is when you're dealing with large governmental agencies and accidents of this magnitude, you're looking at least a few months before any kind of report comes out. There may be an interim report, say in 3 to 6 months, maybe a final report in a year. Unfortunately, they don't go quickly, and we don't get the answers as fast as what we'd like.
We want to go back to LiveCopter 3 right now, giving you these exclusive images that you can only get here on KCRA 3. And you can see there's pretty much nothing left, for the families who are waiting. Hopefully they're able to watch this on our app as well. I can't imagine what they're going through because there's just so much that is not known. And you don't know if maybe someone was trying to run away, maybe they collapsed farther away, maybe lost consciousness for a time. I mean, just hanging on to hope. I get that. Look at the above ground pool there, and you can see some of the debris that's just kind of sitting halfway into the pool. Just things that are just scattered everywhere. The side of that container ripped off like peeling paint, just down the side of what was some sort of structure. A lot of these structures were used to house fireworks and the different types of fireworks, and then a lot of this they were housing it and getting ready to ship it out either today or tomorrow for fireworks shows on Friday, the 4th of July. The big concern right now, and the newest information that we got just before we went on the air at noon, is that there are 7 people unaccounted for, and so it is just, you look at this with new eyes. I think when I was watching it live last night, I thought for sure no one's there. I mean, for sure they had enough notice and were able to leave, and so you look at it through a different lens, and now it's just your mind is racing as you think about all the possibilities of what possibly happened here.